O'Reilly Auto Parts.
to providing the highest quality dental care. Ask if your dentist is a member of the Ohio Dental Association and American Dental Association, so you know you're being treated by the best. To find an ODA dentist in your area, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
Want to buy your own home but think you can't afford it? What if you got down payment assistance or a discounted interest rate just for being a recent college grad, teacher, nurse, or veteran? The Ohio Housing Finance Agency offers this and more, and our programs are always available for eligible Ohioans, big city, small town, and everywhere in between. Find out if you qualify at myohiohome.org. That's myohiohome.org. Home ownership, ready when you are.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly, here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
It's time we put a stop to a few things. Right now, the D.C. establishment has all the power. The For the People Act will stop that. Billionaires buying West Virginia's elections? The For the People Act will stop that. Politicians and their families getting rich while we pay for it? Yep. The For the People Act will stop that too. Senator Manchin, you've always had West Virginia's back. Don't stop now. Stop corruption in its tracks and support the For the People Act, paid for by Represent Us. It's time we put a stop to a few things. Americans voting on machines that aren't made in America? The For the People Act will stop that. States using hackable voting machines with no paper trail? The For the People Act will stop that. Elections with no way to do careful audits or recounts by hand? Yep, the For the People Act will stop that too. Senator Manchin, you've always had West Virginia's back. Don't stop now. Stop election interference and support the For the People Act, paid for by Represent Us.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Ready to complete your degree? Ohio Dominican University offers high-demand degree completion options 100% online. Pursue your bachelor's in high-demand fields such as business, risk management, and more. Ohio Dominican's affordable tuition means an ODU degree not only fits your schedule, it also fits your budget. Earn your degree online from an accredited university that has called Columbus home for over 100 years. Take the first step at ohiodominican.edu/adult.
Have you experienced foot or ankle pain during or after sports, running, or exercising at the gym? Nagging aches in your foot or ankle that won't go away? Podiatric physicians can provide you with important foot care solutions, shoe inserts, or show you how to support your feet and ankles so you're able to compete or exercise comfortably. Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association podiatric physicians are located throughout the state and have been serving the profession and the public for over 100 years. To find a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association near you, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
From the Watchdog, here's your local weather forecast for your Wednesday. Mostly sunny with a high of 78. Tonight, mostly cloudy with a low of 54. And for your Thursday, expect partly cloudy skies in the morning with a chance of showers and thunderstorms near dinner time and a high of 75. And that's your local weather forecast from the Watchdog.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Good morning, old friends.
Hey, what are you doing here? I'm going on the air.
Uh-oh, guess what day it is?
Wake up, fairy princesses, wake up!
Guess what day it is?
Get up before I get you up!
Guess what today is?
It's hump day. Hump day!
Woo-hoo! This is Wednesday. She calls it over the hump day.
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
We ain't one at a time in here. They broadcast me out on the radio. We're mass communicating.
Let Wednesday begin!
Hit it!
A fresh take on local, regional, and national news. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Ooh, 58 degrees already. It's starting warm. Going to get even warmer before the day is over and done with. We're pushing 80 today. 78 is what Zach is saying is the official high, but pushing 80 during the day today. Biffy, I don't know about you yesterday. I was out at the playground. Man, it was a sweltering day. It was like the heat of summer yesterday.
It gave us the early summer feel yesterday in springtime?
It was, took Teddy to the playground up at Ogilvy Park after his school. And yeah, one thing you don't realize until a day like yesterday, there is absolutely no shade at Ogilvy Park's playground. No shade, nowhere, anywhere, none. And so a couple of hours of Teddy, he was fine, ran and jumped and run and played tag and followed the leader and swang on the swings and climbed up the bars and made new friends. Granddaddy just kept sitting there going, please, I'm so hot. So hot. Oh, my God. But nice day. I mean, boy, perfect day. Going to be like that again today. I guess almost a carbon copy. Highs back into the upper 70s. I said pushing 80 today, and probably sunshine and blue skies all day. So I like it. It makes you feel like summer's here, right? I know it's not. I know that's even possible. Technically possible. We could have snow again before April is over and done with. I know that, but boy, days like yesterday and today just make you feel like summer is here for sure.
It's a nice little preview of what we can expect.
Absolutely. We talked earlier this week about, and I actually listened to you and I, one of the podcasts I put up this week, Biffy, was of you and I discussing food trucks. Going to be at Heritage Port for Waterfront Wednesday this year. At least that's what the West Banco Arena Facebook page had said. And I haven't followed up on that. I haven't talked to Denny or anybody about that, but West Banco's Facebook page says that there's going to be food trucks for Waterfront Wednesday this year, which I think is just absolutely great because I think it adds something extra to Waterfront Wednesdays. And we talked about that. If you missed our conversation, the podcast is up, and I went back and listened to the podcast of Biff and I discussing it. We hit a couple of good high notes. Morning Intel today tells me that Food Truck Fridays are coming to Caddis this month as well, which is kind of neat. Food truck vendor will set up shop each week in the villages of Caddis as part of the new Food Truck Fridays. Caddis Business Association sponsoring upcoming events involving food trucks. So food trucks making their way around here in the entire Upper Ohio Valley, including Caddis. It'll only be one food in Caddis, only one per week. April 30th, Wood Fired Pizza Company. May 1st, Chick-fil-A is bringing a food truck. I didn't know they had a food truck. Gary's Hot Rod Barbecue, Ideal Provisions, which is just a great place, great food truck on May 14th, and Wood Fired Pizza again on May 28th. Just some of the folks that are scheduled for Caddis for their Food Truck Fridays. And so more food is coming, more food trucks are coming to the Ohio Valley, not just here in Wheeling, but all the way around. And I just think that's great.
That's our Gary. I think that's our buddy Gary that listens out there.
Okay, all right.
I think that's the one when we had the Thrills that had the gigantic hamburgers.
Yes.
I think that's who that is. The whatever week that's going to be, that'll be good. Gary's got some good food.
He's going to be there in Caddis May 7th and May 21st. So there you go.
Yep.
But so it's great to see all of our communities thinking about that. Food is such a big thing. I mean, we joke about how much I like to eat food, and Lord help me, I do like to eat food, no question about it. But it's a unifier, isn't it, Biffy? Isn't food a unifier?
It brings us together.
Yeah, it does. I mean, everybody loves to have a snack, a meal, a gathering with the family, a gathering with friends, or a festival built around food. So I think it's a great idea. Didn't Moundsville do a food truck festival a year or so ago? It couldn't have been last year because it was pandemic, but
yeah, either
the year before that.
Yeah, either 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I believe they did.
So, and we have more and more food trucks coming around here in the Upper Ohio Valley. Now, I saw yesterday down in Charleston, Mayor Goodwin, Wheeling native, a friend of mine, Wheeling native, and Mayor Amy Schuler Goodwin, announced outdoor dining is going to resume in Charleston. They're going to start closing a couple of the key downtown streets off and turning them into little foodie walking venues, which I think is a great idea. They did that during the parts of the pandemic when all you could do was outdoor dining. And so it's going to be Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays in Charleston when they'll close the streets and then people can put up their food tents and so on, and have outdoor dining on the streets of Charleston. I think that's a great idea. And I'm hoping, Biff, it got me thinking, I sincerely hope here in Wheeling, elsewhere too, but Wheeling in particular, that I think the city still has to allow it. Remember during the pandemic, when all you could do was outdoor dining, the city allowed more people to have outdoor dining. They were allowed to come out on the sidewalk and put tables out on the sidewalk. And I think in Center Market, didn't they actually occasionally close off the street? I think they did, and let people have dining down there. I hope we go back to outdoor dining here in the Upper Ohio Valley. I said when they first started talking about it that not just for the pandemic and as a way to allow the restaurants to get business when they couldn't get business inside, I think outdoor dining is just a really neat thing to have and to do. If I'm anywhere out of town on a trip somewhere, going to a large city, going to a DC or New York, I mean, I love to have an outdoor dining experience. Sit outside of the table on the sidewalk, enjoy the sunshine, the blue skies, and have a meal. So I hope that the city is going to, but there has to be some regulations that have to be changed. And they were changed for the pandemic. I don't know if those changes are still in effect or if they have to institute them. But I hope they do. I hope they do. And I hope more restaurants and businesses will take a look at outdoor dining. I mean, some folks have it built into their operations now. Generations was the first one to build a big outdoor deck, I think, during the pandemic, and that's become a big part of their place. The new Alpha Tavern turned part of their old dining room inside into an outdoor patio, which is, I think, a great idea. So you're seeing more and more places that are giving it a try, Biffy, but I hope we do it. I hope we go back to outdoor dining.
Especially if days like yesterday and today, with the way the weather's going to be, can you imagine all the people that just want to even just get out? Go get something to eat, sit down by the river, and enjoy lunch and enjoy the weather. I mean, that's what yesterday and today would have been great for.
Absolutely, and again, it's not a pandemic in my mind. It's not a pandemic thing. It's hey, this is really a neat way to go out and eat thing. just go out and
gives you another option.
Have another option, something totally different, a way to take advantage of the of good weather and still just go out to eat. I remember a long time ago, a friend of mine passed away a long time ago now, but he used to say, he had a little bit of a problem, drinking problem, because he used to say, a beautiful day like yesterday, he'd go, oh, what a beautiful day, the sun is out, the skies are blue, yeah, let's go to a bar. And I remember the time thinking, I get the point, it's a great day, let's just have fun. But then going to a dark old bar, I remember even back then when I was much younger thinking, wouldn't it be neat if you could like sit outside and have a drink somewhere, and enjoy the sunshine at the same time. So that's what it's for. So I hope we're going to do outdoor dining again this year in Wheeling. Bridge Tavern had put a couple tables out, remember, last year during the pandemic?
Yep.
Right there on 10th Street, which I thought was neat. You don't have to make a huge deal of it. Just, and again, I'm not thinking so much about the pandemic. So during the pandemic, you had to make sure that there was proper ventilation, and if it was a partially covered place, you had to make sure that it was COVID correct, that kind of thing. But I'm not thinking about COVID per se. I'm just thinking about just put some tables out on the sidewalk and let people eat outside. Let's do it again. I hope we're going to do it again. But outdoor dining resumes down in Charleston with street closures, and we could do that here in Wheeling. Center Market would be the logical place for it. Maybe not, I don't mean every day, all day long, but, at least a couple of weekends a year, maybe, just close off the streets. And we do that for some festivals, but let's just do it for food,
Do it like it seems everybody else is doing. Do it on a Friday. What better way to get the weekend started?
Yeah, you want to go out there for a dinner on Friday? We could close off part of Market Street and down there at Center Market, go down, sit outside, and have have an adult beverage or a non-adult beverage if you choose, and hamburger or steak or whatever, and just enjoy life. So anyways, I saw that. I'm thinking, more and more food trucks coming to Cata's. Food truck we talked about earlier in the week, maybe at West Bank Arena for Waterfront Wednesdays, and outdoor dining opening up in Charleston. Weather as good as it's been this week. Let's start thinking about getting these things, back in action. One thing that I don't know if it's going to continue or not, it requires, I think, state approval on this. During the pandemic, changes to the ABC rules were made, so you could do takeout alcohol drinks, right, Biffy? So many people were ordering their meals out that they began to allow you to order to-go. You couldn't do it before. To-go drinks. You want a margarita with your Taco Tuesday or something, right? You can order that for delivery or takeout. And so a lot of states are now considering whether or not they want to continue that as well. Wall Street Journal had a piece about this yesterday, saying that a number of places are grappling with whether or not to return the ban on to-go alcoholic drinks, or to simply say, it seemed to work.
Well,
I'm not aware of I haven't heard of any kind of problems created by allowing people to order to go. They were limited. You couldn't order hello, yes, delivery.com. Send me 14 margaritas to that. You couldn't do that. I think you were limited to like 2. So there was some limitation there.
I think
what's that?
I think all the businesses that did that had to do was, it's simple. Take a look at the numbers. If the numbers said you did great, okay. If not, well then, hey, at least you tried.
Exactly. New Orleans, Las Vegas are already going to be allowing to-go drinks to stay as a regular part of their policy. Wisconsin, Kentucky, Ohio, Iowa, and Washington, D.C., according to the Wall Street Journal, have already made allowing to-go alcoholic drinks permanent. Others are simply extending it on sort of a case-by-case basis, at least into next year. But, of course, and I get it. I seriously do get it. There are some who think it's not a good idea, could encourage underage drinking, could encourage drunk driving. Actually, I'm thinking it probably discourages drunk driving. You don't have to go to the place and have a couple of drinks. Have the drinks come to you, right?
Yeah, why not?
I think that would discourage, you just stay at home, have a nice meal delivered, and when the meal comes, have them bring you a couple of brewskis or a couple of drinks. So I don't know what the story is here in West Virginia. I don't know whether I think at the moment you still can do the to-go drinks. I think, if any of you want to correct me on that, please do at 304-214-1600. But I think the to-go drinks are still allowed. But I think that it will end eventually, unless they decide to continue doing it. So, again, just part of a couple of things that I think we started doing during the pandemic for health reasons, COVID reasons, that will make sense if we continue doing them now. Allowing people to pick up a couple under certain controlled circumstances, have some to-go drinks. If you're going to pick up a to-go order, or even better, have it delivered to your house. Have some to-go drinks ordered and brought to your house. And the outdoor dining, I think, would make sense to say. So we're reaching that point now, Biff, where as COVID, sadly, it's not winding down. We're starting to see the numbers in West Virginia go up again. But I feel like we're getting closer and closer to being back to normal, We're not there by any stretch, but I just feel like we're getting closer and closer. Sitting out at the park yesterday, jam-packed with just a lot of kids, parents and grandparents, and some wearing masks, a lot not, because it's outdoors. I think most of the grandparents over there probably have been vaccinated now, and the kids you don't worry so much about. So it was just nice to see. It was nice just to feel getting back to normal again.
See people out and just enjoying life again, and that's another one that we can add to the list of slowly but surely we're getting back to normal. People out at the park, kids out, adults, grandparents, just for whatever reason, out enjoying the weather.
But we still have to be cautious, and that's what's got me concerned, because numbers are beginning to rise across West Virginia. We are starting to see more cases of COVID. It had gone down, now it's going back up. We're seeing more hospitalizations, and yes, even more deaths again. So we still have got to follow protocol to a large extent. We can't just say it's over and done with. It's not, but it is certainly nice to get outside and to feel what it's like to be normal again. I know, I'm not normal. I didn't mean normal like me being normal like everybody, but I meant back to my normal. In fact, you know what, baby? My doctors use that phrase for me, by the way.
Oh,
Went to
really?
see a doctor this week. Went to see a doctor this week, and she was looking at my numbers, blood work. Okay, yes, hemoglobin, yeah, okay, yes, and 10 points, yeah, 3 points. Well, those numbers are normal for you. That's your normal. It's like, okay, what's that mean? Well, you're a really sick man, but given that you're a sick man, this isn't too bad. So we all have our own normal. I want to get back to normal as quickly as we can, but we have to do it carefully. But anyways, let's bring on the food trucks. Let's bring on the outdoor dining. Let's let the alcoholic drinks come to our houses again. Let's enjoy festivities around food and drink and try our best to stay safe and then put this whole pandemic behind us, Biffy. Put the whole thing behind us.
And be able to see our friends and see everybody at festivals again and catch up on what's been going on and just having fun.
Yep, absolutely. 7:28 on the Watchdog Morning Show. What are we going to do today, you may say? Oh, what are we going to do today, Howard? I'm glad you asked. Wheeling Council hears complaints about water and sewage, and then here's complaints about raising rates to fix the water and sewage. You really just can't win if you're a Wheeling councilman, which may be why I tried to get some folks to come on from council to talk about this today, and they all said, I'm not putting my foot in that water. I don't want to get into it. So I have no guest to talk about the Wheeling Council raising of rates, but we will talk about those coming up today. The Mayor's Committee on Economic Development yesterday discussed, among other things, closer cooperation between the city and the county. It's been talked about for a very long time. It never happens, but is this the right time? I don't know. We'll get into that. Mitch McConnell, hypocrisy. I love hypocrisy. Mitch McConnell rakes in corporate cash for his campaigns. $4 million plus, I think, in his last campaign from corporations supporting McConnell's run for office. But now he says businesses should, and I say, quote, stay out of politics because they're raising social justice issues like concern over the Georgia voting law. Stay out of politics when you're on the other side. Send me money for politics when you're supporting me. I think that almost is the definition of hypocrisy. Senate Democrats may be able to use reconciliation again. That's that technical term that allows them to not have to get an agreement with Republicans to push some legislation through. Reconciliation may be able to be used again to push some legislation through without any GOP support. We will talk today with Matt Robeson. He is a political analyst, podcaster, former congressional staffer, and campaign consultant who is going to be with us from time to time to talk about some of these national political issues. And we'll talk about this reconciliation thing. The parliamentarian in the Senate now says they can do it. And how will it affect Joe Manchin? We'll get into that. And let's see, what else have I got here? Oh, and will income tax proposals in West Virginia less and less likely to get agreement before the session is over? Budget bills may be revisited in the legislature today because they may have more money to play with since they didn't take money out because of the income tax reduction. I got all this and much more coming up on the Watchdog Morning Show. Going to go up to close to 80 today, 78 calling it, but pushing close to 80 today. We're at 58, yeah, double check it, 58 degrees right now at the airport. 7:31, 29 till the hour. We'll check some headlines for you. We'll talk with Zach. And then we've all had it. We've all had to wait in a long line at fast food drive-thrus, right, Biffy?
Yes, we have.
I mean, everybody has had it at one time or another. No matter, I don't care what fast food you're going to, McDonald's or Arby's or Burger King or Chick-fil-A or whoever it is, we've all had to wait in a line for fast food, right? And yeah, it can get irritating, get a little frustrating. And I'll tell you the tale of one woman who got so irritated she was packing heat and pulled out her gun. Got tired of waiting. Talk about that and more coming up. But first, let's check headlines.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at WTRF, My Ohio Valley, and ABC Ohio Valley. Only on AM 1600 WKKX. The Watchdog.
Good Wednesday morning, Ohio Valley. I'm Stephen Ruffing with your 7 News headlines. The missing
Biffy, I had a terrible time getting anybody on today. All the legislators have meetings, and I'm not kidding. I talked to a couple of council people who said, I don't want to talk about that water and sewer stuff, too controversial. So I got nobody on that. I do have Matt Robeson, who we had a couple weeks ago on, at 8:10, and we're staying on till 10 because Rocky and Brent both are busy today. So we have 3 hours today. I don't think anybody's coming in. I just think we're just going to have this be an extra hour of our show. If Big Dog and or Fuzz show up, we'll have them in that last hour too, but I know Rocky and Brent are not going to be here. And that's the plan for the day. Of course, I was already prepared. I had a terrible time getting guests, but that was okay. It was a short show. I just put one guest in and life went on. And then late in the day, I heard, can you do the extra hour? Oh, yeah. It made my life a little more difficult, but it's all right. There's plenty we can talk about. Yeah, that's actually probably my plan is to save since that's normally what Wednesday is at 9 o'clock. I'll keep all that stuff in there. I will take another break here after Zach, by the way.
powertrain protection. Now, during the Jim Robinson Ford Lincoln Toyota Pre-Owned Super Sale, select from over 80 vehicles in stock starting under $5,000. Most are local trades, many with one owner. Hurry to Jim Robinson at the Highlands, home of lifetime powertrain protection.
New Belgium Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available in West Virginia and distributed locally by wine and beverage merchants. With its toasty and biscuit-like malt flavors blended perfectly with hoppy freshness, it's bound to become one of your new favorite craft beers. Fat Tire Amber Ale is now available at local retailers. Please don't drink and drive and drink responsibly. From your friends at Wine and Beverage Merchants.
You know, there's variety shows, and then there's, well, my variety show. I'm Bill DeFabio, and I bring you the best variety talk in the Ohio Valley, quite possibly the world. Join me from noon till 2 to talk sports, nostalgia, and hear from some of the legends of the game. You won't believe who I have on next. The Bill DeFabio Variety Show, noon till 2 on the Watchdog.
Lansing. The Watchdog is protecting your yard. Join Howard Monroe, Hoppy Kercheval, Bill DeFabio, and Big Rick for the best live and local talk in the Upper Ohio Valley and beyond. Lansing trusts the Watchdog.
From the West Virginia Broadcasting Hall of Fame, directly to you. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe, brought to you in part by Wheeling Hospital.
Biff, did you happen to see Bill yesterday and mention anything to him about auctioning off his toupee?
I did not.
I gotta give maybe Jim Frio a call and say, I'm wondering what the Fabio's toupee might bring. You know, Jim and Shane are pretty good about assessing the value of things. I wonder what the Fabio's toupee. I wonder, is it the toupee he wore when they got mad at him at the Steelers when he came out in his Santa Claus suit? Because that might have more value. Gonna have to think about that a little bit. But Bill DeFabio's Variety Show coming up. Well, actually, no, not coming up today because today is Wednesday. So coming up today, it's Your Wheeling, No Two Ways About It at noon with Wheeling Mayor Glenn Elliott and Vice Mayor Chad Thalman. I assume maybe they'll talk on their own show about the rate hikes. Nobody wants to talk about the rate hikes with me. But the mayor show, the mayor and vice mayor show coming up today at noon. And then the ladies are in at 1 o'clock with their program, Sonia and Olivia. And maybe they'll talk about food trucks, too, come to think of it, since that's the West Banco Arena event. So that's coming up today. Bill DeFabio, of course, is infamous Wednesdays off. It is 7:40, 20 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show as we roll through a Wednesday. And actually, a little adjustment for us this Wednesday, Biffy. We're going to have a 3-hour tour today instead of a 2-hour Wednesday jaunt. The legislative watchdogs have other activities to attend to, so you and I will be here all the way up until 10 today.
Oh, we can handle it.
Think we can do it? I think we can pull it off.
Yeah, we'll manage to get through.
All right, so we'll have an extra hour to converse between Biff and I and y'all coming up today here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Well, let's see. Zach Petty is with us in the Big 7. Good morning, Zach.
Well, good morning, Howard. How are you today, sir?
Boy, I'll tell you, it was like the heat of summer yesterday.
Literally, I was thinking, I got home from the gym right around 2 o'clock, and I was sitting outside on my back little patio area, and I was like, man, this would be nice sitting by the pool and just kind of soaking it all in. And I tell you what, it truly did kind of feel like summer vibes, I tell you.
It wasn't just warm, it was hot yesterday. What was the high, do we know?
77 at the airport.
77 at the airport. I saw that temperature several times in the afternoon. We went up to Ogilvy Park to the playground with my grandson and played for a couple hours. He played, I sat, but gee. And one thing I discovered, you never think about it until you need it, there is no shade at Ogilvy's playground.
No.
There is no shade anywhere. And the smart ones had a hat on, not old Monroe, so I'm just sitting there sweating, and I'm ready to go, but you can't do it because you want to let the kids play. It's like, Granddad, I'm going to play some more. Yeah, you play some more. Granddad's going to sit here and sweat.
Well, that's when you go say, "Oh, Granddad's going to go sit in the car with the AC on for a little bit. He might even fall asleep. So just knock on the window when you're done, Teddy."
Came that close to doing that. That close to doing it. Said to my wife I literally said to my wife, I said, I might just go up with the car and turn the AC on a little bit. There's no shade, as I mentioned. There are no shade trees in the playground. But there is that little underground tunnel that takes you from the playground underneath the road over to the lake. And I thought, I guess I could go sit inside the tunnel, or at least be in some shade in there. But anyway, bottom line is, boy, did it feel like, not just springtime, it felt like the heat of summer yesterday.
And we're expected to kind of go through the same sort of motions today, Howard. High temperatures back in that upper 70s range. Some areas farther south could get into the low 80s. Another warm one, a cool, what was I trying to say? A soft, not even a soft, a light, there we go, a light southwesterly breeze right around 5 miles per hour might make it feel slightly cooler, but still, it's going to be rather warm, well above average by about 20 degrees with average highs for this time of year in the upper 50s.
So we're going to be upper 70s. So yeah, 20 degrees warmer than the average. Sunny again today too?
Yeah, there might be a couple more clouds in the skies, but still predominantly. Let's combine it. A mixture of sun and clouds. We'll say partly cloudy. So sometimes there'll be a few more clouds. Sometimes there'll be a few more rays of sunshine. But all in all, another fantastic looking day with little to no precip.
The light winds that blew around yesterday when I was out were a big help. I mean, when the wind was blowing, it didn't feel so bad. It just kind of felt nice and cool. But when the wind didn't blow, that's when the heat really got to you. No rain today?
No, we should be. Excuse me. We should be in the clear. It looks like the only chance for any sort of rain activity is going to be well to our northwest into portions of. I guess western Pennsylvania, maybe a stray sprinkle over into Tuscarawas or Carroll County, but I think the majority of us is going to stay relatively rain-free. But talking about tomorrow, looks to be a little bit of a different story. I'm expecting to see a low-pressure system swing by in the afternoon. So when you and I talk tomorrow morning at this time, we'll be saying, it doesn't look too bad. It'll be another clear morning, another warm day on the way. But then as we head closer to dinner time tomorrow, that's when the rain's expected to swing by, and we actually could even see some rumbles and bumbles of thunder. Oh my!
So be prepared for that. But that won't be till late in the late afternoon or even into the evening, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm saying right around 6-7 o'clock is when those should start to make its way over into southeastern Ohio and the northern Panhandle. So I'm not sure. Brother Biff is going to be able to get a full 18 in tomorrow, unfortunately.
And we're looking for some lingering showers into the weekend as well, right?
Yeah, it looks like some spotty showers are likely to continue on into our finally Friday. Again, another warm day on the way. High temperatures will continue in the low to mid 70s for our high. We're not seeing rain at that point in time. Expected to be kind of gray and overcast, mostly cloudy skies will continue on. But I expect the Friday showers to be more spotty in nature, so not everyone's going to see it. And then those spotty showers are likely to continue on into the weekend with, again, not anything widespread, just some hit or miss showers, mainly in the afternoon Saturday, even into the overnight period, but then becoming more stray and spotty for Sunday afternoon. And we'll continue on with temperatures in the upper 60s and low 70s into the weekend before we get closer to normalcy, I guess, in terms of high temperatures into the next work week.
Yeah, 70s all this week and then begin to drop back into the 60s next week. So beginning of the week. So that's good. Well, again, springtime is here officially on the calendar. And so a little rain, a little warmth, a little temperature change. That's what we expect for springtime. But we had a little taste of summer. And again, although I was kind of complaining about it, I was happy to feel it. Only thing is, you say, I wish the pool had been open so I could have taken a quick dip.
Yeah, just to cool off, really. I mean, that's what you need. And hey, at least you're, the furnace wouldn't be a need for today, but the AC hopefully is kicked on and is working, right?
Yes, the AC is working. And the furnace guy is coming out today, as a matter of fact, to begin work on putting our new furnace in. So when the cold comes back, hopefully not till next winter, our furnace will be working. We'll have a brand new furnace working. So that's good. Hey, Zach, we've been talking on the show the last couple of days about food. Well, we talk about food all the time, of course. But West Banco Arena this week announced that they're going to have food trucks at the Heritage Port for the Waterfront Wednesday concerts this year, which I think is a great idea. What do you think about that?
I love food trucks. They really are the mobile way, just kind of reinventing kind of the food scene in terms of it's just a little bit more convenience. You can continue on the go if you're in a strip mall or if you're just continuing to walk the streets of the riverfront. I think it's a great idea. Now, unfortunately, Stephen and I were looking at the times for the Waterfront Wednesdays, and it's, I think, 5 to 7 or 7 to 9 p.m. And so kind of a little too late for us, so we won't be able to endure any of the cuisine. But I'm a big fan of any sort of food truck, just because it's a little easier, because you also spend a lot of downtime whenever you're waiting for your waitress or waiter at a restaurant and waiting for your food to be cooked. It's kind of already pre-made, and you're not waiting around as long. So I think they're a great thing for the future.
You know, a handful of years ago, I lose track of time, but a handful of years ago, I don't think we had any food trucks in town, Biffy. What, 6, 7 years ago? If we had any, it might have been one. But now we have all different kinds of them.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot, and all of a sudden, you look at them and you see you got enough that you can line the streets with.
And Zach, we were talking about Morning Intel today tells us that Caddis is going to have food truck Fridays this summer. Okay. So on Fridays, even up in Caddis, up in Harrison County, they'll have a different food truck on hand at the Caddis Square every week. So I'm with you. I love food trucks. I think they're a really neat addition to the culinary scene, and I'm glad to see that we have so many of them. And we also were talking about, down in Charleston yesterday, they officially announced the return of outdoor dining now that the summertime is coming back again. They're going to close a couple streets down in Charleston and let dining be held on the streets. And I think that's a great idea. I can see that down at Center Market, every once in a while, just closing off the streets and letting people eat out tables in the marketplace.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea, and it just kind of allows the businesses to do things in the open air environment, still keeping people safe, even though hopefully the vaccine distribution continues to go along successfully, and everyone continues to accept the science and just continue to kind of keep it safe and still offer them the opportunity to do business, because they were definitely some of the ones that were most hit by the pandemic.
Yep, absolutely. So I'm excited about that, and I hope I feel confident. Wheeling had to put some different, not exactly zoning, but street regulations into effect last year to allow some outdoor dining. It was done because of the pandemic, but I think pandemic or not pandemic, let's let more restaurants have outdoor dining. Let a restaurant put a couple tables on the sidewalk out in front of their place. It's enjoyable. It gives you more of a big city feel, I think, to have outdoor dining. Yeah. And it
just kind of spaces you out and give the patrons a better look. If you want to sit outside and enjoy the warmth of a crisp Friday evening, do so. I think it's a great idea.
Yep, hopefully we'll see that again. All right, Zach, already warm this morning. 58, I think, is what I saw at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. So we're already warming up, and just going to get warmer as the day goes on.
Yep, the thermometers will continue to keep climbing. And hey, Howard, real quick, whatever happened to your team meeting about that hot dog competition with the four of us being the judges? Wanted to run that by you real quick.
That's a good point. I haven't had a meeting on that yet, but I think we actually had talked about this before you and I talked about it. We had kind of kicked this around last year that maybe we could have some kind of a hot dog contest. And some of the other folks here said, "Oh, Howard, I think you'd be good at that. You'd be good at a hot dog contest." Have not brought it up since you and I talked about it, but we need to do that because I think it'd be a great summer event for the Watchdog to have some kind of.
I fully agree. Partner with 7 News, and you already have your 4 culinary cuisine experts. We'll even wear fancy hats.
There we go. We could wear hot dog hats. The hat that look like I want to make us look like fools. No, I have not followed through on that, but seriously, I have not forgotten that. I think that there is something to be done about that. Maybe in conjunction with a chili cook-off at the same time. I don't know. I got to work the details out, but I see value in that, and so I'm gonna.
I see big things in that.
I shall not drop it. I will keep it going. All right, Zach. Speaking of going, I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a good day. Talk to you then.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys. We'll see you.
8 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 58 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. Yeah, our regular weekly meetings have been a little bit erratic last couple of weeks, so I've not had a chance to present the concept to the big team here at the radio station of a hot dog contest. And I'm telling you, we got the judges already. Biff and me and Stephen and Zach are all ready to be the judges, and we could bring in maybe one or two other celebrities to help us judge hot dogs. And wouldn't it be professional? I guess, Biffy, we can have. We got Gula's, we've got Tito's. There's some other places that sell hot dogs. Maybe we could have an amateur competition. Let people their own particular recipe or brand of cooking for hot dogs, to bring them in,
The possibilities are there.
Absolutely. And the judges are here.
Yes, that is the important part.
The important thing is we have got the judges for the hot dog contest. So I will have to keep on working on that. We could let people maybe try some of the, do hot dogs that they make for their Little League games and so on. Have you ever noticed, Biffy, that hot dogs in a place like ball games, whether it's a major league ballpark or even just your neighborhood ballpark, if you get a concession stand and they're doing hot dogs, they're always better than the ones you make at home?
Oh, yeah. One of those things that I don't get, but yeah, somehow they always taste better at a game, any type of game.
Yeah, and I always ask, I say, all right, well, what kind of hot dog are you using? Well, we're using, I don't know, Nathan's, whatever. Okay, all right, I'll get Nathan's. How do you cook it? Well, we steam it or we whatever. Okay, all right. So, and I get the same hot dog and I get the same buns and I do the same thing at home, and it's never the same. It's never as good as what I get out. And it's not like we're even talking about great chefs sometimes. We're just talking about volunteers who cook at a concession stand at a Little League game, But somehow those hot dogs, there's just something better about them. Hot dogs, got your hot dogs here, got your hot dogs here. Major League Baseball is back, of course, so you can get your hot dogs at Major League ballparks. Baseball of all sports, Biffy, I think is one that the stuff that goes around the game becomes just as important as the game itself, right? I mean, there's nothing like watching a game with great weather and a cool drink and a hot dog or peanuts or whatever, right? And then maybe add one more thing. Little action on FanDuel. What do you think? Add a little more action. Add a little action on FanDuel just to make it a perfect baseball game. If you've never bet on baseball before, this is the perfect time to give it a shot. FanDuel is letting new users swing for the fences risk-free. You get up to $1,000 back if your first bet doesn't win. Now, once you have an account, you can get up to $25 back every day if you play a same-game parlay bet and you fall one leg short. So that way you can combine multiple baseball bets for an even bigger win all season long. There's a reason FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Simple to use, an intuitive app. They've got great odds on all different betting markets, unique fun-type bets like same-game parlay, always on promotions to let you get more action out of every game. And, of course, you get your winnings very quickly. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. Sign up with my name, Monroe, in the promo code box. Must be 21 or older, physically present in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. For risk-free bet, refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions do apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net.
1 in 3 adults has prediabetes.
That's okay. That's all right. That's fine. I didn't realize they're running so late. Oh, Fairmont, yeah. Okay.
And it can feel like everything you've worked for is at risk. I always had a vision of building a team, a crew of true professionals that could handle it all, tax, insurance, and investments. Big enough to partner with Encova, but personal enough to protect your interests on the home front. I'm Gary, and this is the Glessner Group.
Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands is the perfect place to relax after a long day. Happy hour from 3 to 6 Monday through Friday. Get $2 off appetizers, $3 off domestic drafts, and house wine specials. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA. Quaker Steak and Lube at the Highlands with another steal of a deal. Get a steak burger and fries all day Monday for only $8.99. It's also Military Mondays. The Lube will take 25% off for all veterans, active duty military, and first responders. Quaker Steak and Lube, voted Best Wings USA.
This guy knows so much about sports. They based the Sports Almanac from Back to the Future off of his dream journal. He's Bill DeFabio, weekdays noon to 2 on the Valley's only network dedicated to live and local talk radio, The Watchdog.
Watch out! He could climb on his soapbox at any time. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
We got a couple of really weird stories I want to get. Not weird. One of them's weird. One of them's interesting. We talked about, who was it? Jack Lambert's teeth holder that was on the auction block yesterday, right, Biffy?
Yeah.
I got it for $20,000. That was kind of weird. We're talking about maybe auctioning off Billy DeFabio's toupee. A new comic book set an auction record yesterday. I want to share that with you coming up in a bit. And what do you do if you're waiting in line and the fast food line is too long? You might, if you're really angry, honk your horn or something, but one lady pulled out her gun. We'll talk about that too. But next hour, we're going to start with some political talk with Matt Robeson, a political consultant and podcaster, about reconciliation in the Senate and what Joe Manchin's role in that might be. ABC's got the world for us right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
I'm Sherry Preston.